These professional chefs all want to break into the top ranks of the world's culinary elite. Deciding who has the talent to cut it is MasterChef judge Gregg Wallace.
The flavours burst out of that soup.
And culinary legend Michel Roux Jr. With 2 Michelin stars, he's expecting perfection.
I think your taste buds are up at the level required.
Cooking doesn't get better than this. These 4 chefs have been working in professional kitchens for years, but they want to prove they can compete at their industry's highest level.
We are looking for exceptional talent. Not good, not decent, I mean truly gifted.
I can see a great chef as soon as they walk into the kitchens. These guys are going to have to impress me.
In today's show, the professionals will be set 3 grueling tests. Only the best chef will make it through to the quarter-final. In this, the first of the tests, the contestants will not be cooking for Michel. As one of only a handful of 2 Michelin star chefs in the country, the 4 contestants will have to earn the right to cook for him. To whittle them down to the best 3, he's sending in his senior sous chef Monica to judge them.
Move it! Get that garnish on the plate now!
Monica, my sous chef, has been working for me for over 5 years. I trust her judgment. I know that if she says it's all right, then it's good.
Monica wants to determine who she'd be prepared to put in front of Michel. Only the best 3 chefs will have the privilege to cook for him. The other will be going home.
Right, for the palate test, I would like them to make us a bruschetta. Today's skill test is to spin us some kind of sugar decoration.
Cool, it's tough, isn't it?
Has to be.
Let's get these guys in. Let's see what they're made of.
"25-year-old Welshman Nick has spent the last 8 years working his way up to head chef, earning 2 rosettes.
I really want to go for it because I want to cook for Michel Roux Jr. He's a bit of an idol of mine, and I want to see what he thinks of my food.
Nick, your 10 minutes start now.
Okay. In 5 years, I'd like to see myself bringing a Michelin star back to Wales. That's what I want to try and do, show people that Welsh food is the best.
You've got 5 minutes, Nick. You've got to spin us some sugar. You've got 60 seconds left, Nick. Hold your nerve. You're all right. OK, your time is up. Look at that, right at the last minute, Nick.
Nick, I have to say, well done.
Cheers.
I mean, that's as fine as you can get it. I mean, that's pretty damn good, I have to say. The colour is fantastic, and I'd happily put that on any dessert in a Michelin restaurant. Right, Nick. I'm not a fan of huge wedges of garlic. Michel is a fan of garlic, but not that much, okay?
You do get a nice tang of basil, and because you've warmed those tomatoes, they are now got more flavour. But are you mad?
I think if I wasn't wrestling so much, I would have chopped it a lot finer.
We do have other chefs to see. I'm so glad you finished that sugar. Well done, Nick. Thank you very much indeed.
Cheers. I made a stupid mistake on the garlic. If it wasn't for that, then it would have been perfect, so...
Next up is 21-year-old Lee. He's already notched up 5 years in a kitchen, starting in his grandparents' pub. He has big ambitions.
I think I stand out from the rest. I'm quite confident in what I do. I really want to get through today to cook for Michel Roux Jr. It's going to be a dream if I do.
10 minutes. Skill test, palate test. Off you go, Lee. Good luck.
My dream as a chef is to have my own restaurant, somewhere nice and busy. I love it, it's my passion, it's the only job that I enjoy doing and it's what I want to do.
One minute.
Give us something, Lee.
Time's up.
Right, Lee, first task, skills test.
Yeah, it didn't happen.
I'm really disappointed. I want someone to walk in here and I want to put them in front of Michel and say, look, this is someone that is professional enough to go into Michelin.
Yes, chef.
I am annoyed. I am really annoyed. I expected better today.
Real shame. Right, let's look at your bruschetta. Masses and masses of salt and really hard punch of little chunks of garlic. You don't want that.
Pure salt. That's all I get.
Okay.
If I gave that to Michel, he would throw it at me.
I'm bitterly disappointed.
Yeah?
Yeah,
Maybe too relaxed in the beginning.
maybe.
Thanks very much.
That went terribly. If I didn't get through to cook for Michel, I would be gutted, but these things happen, I suppose, in life. But I am bitterly disappointed with what I've just done.
Dad of one, Simon, started his chefing life as a pot washer when he was 15.
I want to become a head chef in a nice little country house hotel type restaurant place, doing nice food.
10 minutes. Off you go.
My pride is riding on this. I need to win this to prove that to myself that I can do it and get my confidence boosted.
Simon, you have 2 minutes. Okay, you've got to dish up the bruschetta, you've got to spin the sugar. Right, that's it. Time's up.
Right, Simon, skills test. I see your sad attempt at a caramel there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe you panicked, but there's nothing you can do about it now.
Yeah.
Okay?
Right, okay.
You were hoping to deliver a Michelin standard bruschetta.
Yeah.
Yeah? That almost looks perfect. The bread is nice. We rub the garlic through it, but what I do get is too much salt. It's very sad because it does look good.
Nice. Tang of garlic, but the rest is salt.
I'm very disappointed. Just the environment of being in that kitchen and having Gregg and Monica watch you, I just maybe lost concentration for a couple of seconds and just got to hope that I get a second chance.
Last up is Dominic. His passion for cooking inspired him to leave his career in sales and re-qualify as a chef.
This is what I've always wanted to do, always wanted to be a chef. Life's all about challenges, you know. Life's about doing the things that you really want to do, however hard they're going to be.
Good luck, off you go.
Thanks very much. This competition is an opportunity for me to fast-track my career, to get exposure to Michel Roux Jr. Just to be able to be in the same room as him, that would be fantastic.
You have 3 minutes, Dominic.
This is a nightmare of everything not quite working
All right.
on national television, isn't it?
Yeah, time's up. Time's up. Time's up.
There's nothing to mark you on your skills test, I'm sorry to say.
Let's talk about your bruschetta.
Presentation-wise, it's clean, rustic, but it looks like it's just been thrown on your baguette.
Yes, chef.
There's no garlic.
No.
It's quite bland.
Olive oil, olives, tomatoes, basil. It's almost the flavours of Provence. It's very nice. But because there's so much bread, you need big flavour, and it needs garlic.
Thanks very much. Really, really disappointed, gutted, to be honest. I just feel like I've messed it up. If I didn't get through today, if I didn't get the chance to cook for Michel Roux Jr, I will be devastated.
We have some very nervous chefs in here. We did have some disasters, but I do think there's potential in here. Nick did really well with his skills test.
Yeah.
I mean, he pulled out a perfect little 12. I mean, you said you would happily present it in the restaurant. I mean, that's big praise for that fella.
His bruschetta was very nice, except, of course, to the massive wedges of garlic through that.
Come on, he's good.
Yeah, let's put him through.
They haven't seen the best of me yet. They haven't seen half the best, so we're gonna, we've got a lot more to show them yet.
Simon's skill test was the non-event.
But did you see potential in that man's bruschetta?
Great potential. I thought it looked great. Taste-wise, too much salt. It's just a shame. Simon made mistakes, but I'm willing to risk putting him in front of Michel.
Hopefully, I've done enough to stay and go through.
Lee got off to about as worst start as I've seen anybody get off to. I mean, that was pretty rough. He didn't heat the pan up enough to cook the caramel in time. He made us bruschetta, had so much salt on there, and then to cap it all off, he burnt it.
They're meant to be professional. So you walk in that door, you should be expecting something tough.
It's hard to find promise in such car crash cooking. He had a nice haircut.
I wasn't looking.
It's really important, this competition. It means everything to me. I've given up days off preparing for it. I'm ready to give up more if I get the chance. It's just whether I get the chance now to do that.
Let's chat about Dominic.
The bruschetta wasn't even toasted. There was no seasoning, lack of seasoning, no heart or care in it.
Did you see any glimmer there, any real skills?
No.
If I get through, it'll be by the grace of God.
Nick's through and Simon's through, right? We're agreed on that. Now it's between Lee and Dominic.
Gregg, I have to be honest and say I am very hesitant to put either one of them in front of Michel. To have to choose one of these guys, they better back up their act. The person leaving us today is Dominic. Lee, I'm taking a big risk to put you through to cook for Michel. I expect more from you, so you have no idea how much more Michel is going to expect you to perform.
Yes, chef.
Well done, mate. Well done, mate. Nice one. I really didn't think that I was going to get through after the little silly mistakes that I made, but they must have seen something in me, so I'm very happy.
I'm absolutely over the moon. Get a chance to cook for Michel, show him what I'm made of, and see if I can go all the way with it, really.
That wasn't me, what was in there today. And hopefully I can show him what I'm really made of.
It's day 2. Simon, Lee and Nick are back, and this time they have the chance to cook for Michel Roux Jr. To get through to the quarter-final, they'll have to show him they can deliver the precise, inspiring food expected at this highest level.
Now, let's be fair. You guys didn't have the easiest of times getting to this round, but that has been and gone. This is a completely different round, and you have a chance to really prove how talented you are.
In front of you, you have got two fabulously fresh, great ingredients. Razor clams and mussels. We want two separate, different dishes cooked with those ingredients.
At the end of today, two of you will be leaving this competition, but one of you will be a quarter-finalist. Good luck, cook very well, off you go.
This is a chance for the chefs to demonstrate their versatility. They have 50 minutes to show their skill. Their larder includes saffron, fennel, capers, tomatoes, linguine, celery, arborio rice, potatoes, and sweet brioche. They also have a selection of plates to give Michel a sense of their presentation skills.
I am expecting great food today. Great food from three really passionate young chefs. They may be able to cook, but can they prove to us that they can go all the way? What we don't want to see is overcooked mussels and razor clams. If they're overcooked, they will be chewy, inedible, horrible. These Scottish razor clams are absolutely gorgeous. The best part is that really white, creamy part. The bottom part of the razor clam can be very gritty. I hope that they realise that the gritty part is not edible, because I don't want to eat sand.
I think I've got more to prove today than I did before. I've messed up a bit last time, really, and I'm really looking forward to showing what I can do in this next round.
Lee, confident?
I feel a lot better than the last round. I feel like I have a lot to prove. I felt a bit embarrassed about getting through, to be honest with you. And I just want to learn. I just want to carry on progressing through this competition.
What are you going to make for us?
Tomato linguine with mussels and a mussel and clam fish broth.
How far can you go, Lee?
I hope I can go all the way, chef.
30 minutes left.
I'm feeling a bit of everything, really. I'm feeling excited and happy because I'm going to cook for Michel Roux, but very nervous about the outcome and what he'll have to say about my food. It's definitely make or break.
You join yourself, Simon.
I'm trying, yep, I'm getting there.
God, you cook with a smile on your face, it's good to see. Have you decided what it is you are going to cook?
I'm doing a risotto of mussels with saffron, and I'm doing linguine with a rich tomato sauce, razor clams and caper.
I love what you're saying. I love those flavours. I think there's good combinations. What do you see yourself doing in a few years' time then, Simon?
Hopefully from being on MasterChef and taking it forward, I'd like to be working in a Michelin star restaurant. I want to take my food level a bit higher and get a bit more up the ladder.
You have 15 minutes left, guys. 15 minutes. Why MasterChef, Nick?
It's a really good challenge. I'm really competitive, and you know, everything I do, I want to be the best at. So,
Have you worked with razor clams before?
yeah, they used to be really popular in a restaurant I used to work in.
How are yours going to be really that different and that delicious?
I'm just going to try and not overcook them. I think that's the worst to try, because they go quite rubbery. I'm extremely nervous for today. My competitive streak's going to help, but what I have to do is try and keep them nerves together.
Last 3 minutes. Come on, guys, you've got a minute. That's it, stop.
"23-year-old father of one Simon's first dish is a mussel and saffron risotto."
Presentation-wise, I'm not so sure about the three mussels just poking their head out from the risotto. It looks a bit like a spacecraft. Yeah?
Yeah.
You've used the fish stock, the saffron, and I think maybe even the juices from the mussels in there. Depth of flavour, very good. I think that's reassuring. I think you understand flavours.
It's mild saltiness, and then it's the sweetness of that mussel, and it ends with metallic saffron. Great flavours.
Simon's second dish is linguine with razor clams and capers in a tomato sauce.
Big issue with this razor clam. You've actually left the part which can be sandy, the stomach, and we don't want to eat the stomach. This has just been cooked and thrown on the plate. Not right. Again, seasoning's very good. Good depth of flavour. In fact, a lot of taste. Very good. Couple of errors. Flavour-wise, though, you're there. I think your taste buds are up with, you know, up at the level required. Most definitely.
Lovely. You have a good palate. You do flavour.
I'm very happy with what Michel and Gregg have said about my food. Overall, it was very good, but I'm just very disappointed with the little schoolboy errors that I shouldn't have done.
Lee has been in professional kitchens since he was 16. His mussel linguine in a tomato sauce needs to reflect his Michelin ambitions.
First thing that hits me is pepper. Very generous on the pepper. Too generous on the pepper. Perfectly cooked mussels, well-cooked pasta. But that pepper is just overpowering all the other flavours. Yeah?
Yeah.
You can just pick out the sweetness of the tomato, and you can pick out the flavour of the mussel just, because that's too heavily seasoned. Salt and pepper. You have to taste.
Lee's second dish is a mussel and razor clam broth.
Visually, I think it's very pleasing. Your broth is delicious, full of flavour, and the natural cooking juices of the clams come through. Very good. There are a lot of positives in this plate of food. A lot.
The flavours, quite rightly, are about the clam and the mussel. They burst out of that soup. That is fantastic.
Thank you very much.
If I walked into a restaurant and got served that, I'd be back again and again and again and again.
I'm a lot happier now. I feel like I've half redeemed myself. I think I can definitely cook to the standard they're looking for, and I just need to prove I can do it all the time.
Welshman Nick has made a roasted fennel and caper risotto for his first dish.
Nick, first of all, I think that looks all right. It's, at the end of the day, it is a risotto. You've not done much to it, which is fine. Good, let's taste this. Taste-wise, it's almost there. But I'm not so keen on the capers. I don't think they go well at all. I think they spoil the flavour of the saffron, and it just doesn't fit in there. It's not taking me to the next level.
You take that simple caper away, and you've got a really great dish. It's a shame.
Nick's second dish is spiced razor clam leek and tomato linguine with a sweet brioche garlic bread.
Is linguine sandwich a Welsh speciality?
No.
No? I don't think it's an Italian speciality either. I'm not sure. and it most certainly shouldn't be plonked on the top of it. Nice and tomatoey, lovely rich tomato flavour, and the clams are really well cooked. I like the fact that you've cut them on a diagonal and they're sort of mouth size, which is easy to eat and really tender. Very well done there. It's a good pasta dish without the toast.
The razor clam is well cooked, the pasta is well cooked. I think you'd have got away with it if we hadn't have had slices of brioche on the top. Brioche is sweet and garlic.
I went a bit mad on trying to be a bit too impressive, I suppose. I'll know for next time. I'm feeling pretty rubbish, really. Yeah, I could have done a lot better, and I think I've left myself down a lot.
We're only halfway through. We have another fantastic round to come. Off you go. Overall, I'm very optimistic for the next round. I tasted some good food. I'm absolutely convinced Simon has a great, possibly natural palate.
The depth of flavour he had in that bowl of risotto was fantastic. But his presentation was not right.
It was fabulous seeing Michel Roux try my food. I was really impressed with the comments that he gave me, and I'll take them on with me into the next round.
Lee's clam and mussel broth tells me that he understands cooking at the top level.
It looked professional, it tasted professional.
It was a delicate dish. Beautiful. His first dish, the linguine with the tomato, had far too much pepper. It was blowing my taste buds away.
He's got to prove that his fish broth just wasn't a flash in the pan.
In the next round, I've got to be a lot more consistent. I've got to do 2 dishes that are equally as good, not have one good, one bad.
Nick, you know, made a very good risotto and then decided to throw capers into it.
Why put capers in that risotto? He ruined it.
He cooked very good linguine and he decided to throw brioche flavoured with garlic and saffron at it.
Less is better. Nick has still got a lot to prove.
This afternoon's the last chance to cook for Michel Roux. I'm just going to be myself. I'm going to leave him with lasting memories in his mouth.
There is real potential and skill in this room, but who can accentuate their positives? Who can eradicate their mistakes? That's our quarter-finalist.
The classics are all about mastering techniques, understanding fundamental basics of cuisine. Today's classic recipe test is a coq au vin, and I want a really good, smooth mashed potato to go with it. You also have the ingredients there for a plum clafouti.
2 classic recipe dishes, 1 hour 20. Destiny's in your hands. Good luck. The most creative and inventive chefs in the world could not do what they do without a good grounding in classic dishes.
Coq au vin dates back to ancient Gaul, modern-day France. From these origins, it developed into a rustic French classic popular with the masses.
Originally, the coq au vin would be using a cockerel, slow cooked for many hours. The more modern approach is to use a younger chicken, and it's just cooked very quickly in some good, deep red wine sauce. I want to see baby onions, button mushrooms, and nice big chunky lardons. The secret is in the sauce. The depth of flavour that you get in that sauce, the reduction of the red wine. I don't want to see a gluggy or lumpy sauce.
This is a tricky one with presentation because the coq au vin is a big, rustic dish. How can they present that with style?
Their second classic is a plum clafouti, a fruit flan from the Limousin region of France. Traditionally cooked with cherries covered in a thick batter, today the contestants will be using plums.
Perfect clafouti should be just set, and with the fruit just floating inside and protruding from the top. So you get a little look and you think, wow, this is a treat. If you overcook the clafouti, it will split and it will look and taste horrible. Confident with these two dishes?
I'm very confident with the coq au vin. It's my sort of food that I'm comfortable doing. It's just the dessert. I'm not very strong on pastry, so I'm just a little bit worried about pulling that one off.
Have you eaten one before?
No.
Ooh.
So I'm going to give it my best shot, and that's all I can do.
Confident about Simon delivering big flavours.
Simon had issues on presentation. He's got to get it right this time round.
You've had 20 minutes. You have 1 hour to go. Do you feel that you have to make up in this round for some mistakes in the previous?
Over-seasoned, my first dish, so I'm hoping that everything is consistent in this task.
And we're feeling about these two recipes?
I'm fairly confident on the coq au vin, not so confident on the dessert. I'm not that familiar with it, to be honest with you. Fingers crossed.
And do you have a MasterChef dream?
Yeah, I have a big dream. I want to go as far as I can go. I'd love to get to the final. I'd love the chance to progress.
Lee got his seasoning all wrong this morning. He can't afford to get it wrong on the coq au vin. It has to be perfect.
Halfway, guys. You've got 40 minutes to go. What do you think you need to show us now in this classic recipe test that you possibly didn't show us in the previous test?
That I can, do classic food, and I can bring something a bit extra to it as well.
Wasn't it the bit extra that ruined the first two plates?
Well, a bit extra that works, really, so that's what I'm going to try and do.
Nick needs that Clafouti to work, and work very well. He also needs a very decent coq au vin. He's got a lot to prove. We're down to 5 minutes. Let's move. One minute. Please, plate it. Time is up.
With a quarter-final place at stake, the chef's classic dishes need to reach the standard Michel requires. First under scrutiny is their coq au vin.
Right, good. Simon, let's start with you.
Presentation-wise, it's a bit of a mess. Yeah, it looks as if it's just been thrown on the plate. The chicken is lovely. It has a lovely wine flavour. Mashed potatoes, lovely. Really smooth, buttery. Very good mash. Very good. It's not a bad effort. I mean, once again, Simon, you've proved to us that you have a good palate. The flavours are there. It tastes a heck of a lot better than it actually looks.
Again, I've got to congratulate you on some very good flavours. When are you going to learn to make attractive plates of food? What's it going to take?
Place in the quarter-final.
Lee needs to show that his seasoning skills are up to the level required.
It's ever so slightly over-seasoned. It's also, I think, lacking in sauce. After all, it is supposed to be a stew, a wet dish.
Yeah.
It's not hitting quite the right notes.
It's all a little too salty. It's the same mistake as before.
Your sauce has split. The butter that you have put in has separated from the stock and the wine. It doesn't look nice, it looks fatty. You can taste all the ingredients, you can taste all the bacon and the onion, but the sauce is split. It's those finer details, but a silly mistake.
The texture of the chicken and mashed potato is absolutely lovely. The mashed potato is so creamy. It's very nice. Good effort, guys. Good effort. Can you repeat it with the Clafouti? Let's see.
Their plum Clafouti is the last chance for the chefs to impress.
This couldn't be served in a restaurant. Let's hope it tastes a lot better than it looks. The batter is not cooked enough. It's very heavy, very stodgy. I mean, I wouldn't serve that. No, I mean, you couldn't serve that.
This is a great big lump of uncooked batter. I mean, it doesn't get much worse. You've had a nightmare with this. Of that, there is no doubt.
I think my chances are pretty low. I'm up against some stiff competition, but hopefully I've done enough to push myself through to the quarter-final.
It's messy, it's sloppy. You've got plum juice all over the presentation plate. Doesn't look right. There's hardly any batter in there. What batter there is in there has been completely compressed by the plums on top. Well, it's probably about as far removed as a Clafouti as you can get.
You don't need me to tell you, Lee.
Not at all.
You know full well this is a disaster.
I tried the best I could and did everything to the best of my ability. And if it wasn't good enough, then that's life.
Nick has chosen to serve his plum Clafouti with a crème anglaise.
First thing, your custard or crème anglaise is overcooked. It looks like scrambled egg. Shame. But we've got a nice bit of batter on the sides. Your plums are fully cooked and quite succulent. It's not a bad attempt. It's not perfect by a long shot, but certainly in comparison to the other two, it's edible.
That's not as bad tasting as it looks, which is something of an achievement, I must say. The flavours are actually very good.
No one from Wales has won MasterChef the professionals yet, so it's down to me to try and make it happen this year, really.
I've seen you three guys cook quite a bit now, and I know you do a lot better than this Clafouti. Chef and I have a lot to talk about. Off you go. We'll get you back in as soon as we've made a decision. Thank you. I don't know about you, Michel, but I am really struggling to pick a winner out of these three.
I think all three of them have shown us that they are at a certain level, but are lacking in knowledge of pastry. Nick can cook, and he can cook well. His pasta was perfectly cooked, his risotto was perfectly cooked, but he decided to take both dishes one step too far. Why?
But when he had to follow a classic, he did well. he gave us a very good coq au vin. He gave us by far the best Clafouti.
I thought his Clafouti was almost there. Such a shame that he curdled his sauce. And as for the coq au vin, again, shame about the sauce, it had split.
I don't think I showed him my true self. I could have done it 10 times better.
Simon, we now know, can do flavour.
The risotto he cooked for us has such a depth of richness. Not very nicely presented.
His coq au vin tasted pretty good. He's had the best sauce on the plate.
It had a lovely shine to it. It was the right consistency. A very good mashed potato. I mean, I would have been very happy with just the sauce and the mashed potato.
I think I do deserve a second chance. From what I've done enough today to prove that I can cook.
Lee today gave us one fabulously good dish.
I thought that clam and mussel chowder really was the highlight of today. His first dish, the linguine with the tomato, was just smothered in pepper, and it just blew my mouth away.
You think the over-seasoning was just an oversight. Actually, it wasn't, because he's gone and done exactly the same thing again with his coq au vin. Far too much salt.
It was such a shame because it had all the right flavours there, and it was well presented, again, but just heavy-handed on the seasoning. Presentation you can teach. Taste is very, very difficult.
But then how did he manage to get that clam and mussel dish tasting so well?
Maybe he forgot to season.
The other guys have made mistakes, so it's fairly even at the minute. So we'll have to see what happens.
Who are we going to go with?
The chef going through to the next round is Simon.
Well done, Simon.
Can't believe it.
I really thought that I'd just done enough to go through. But on the day it wasn't right, so...
Honestly, I'm a bit disappointed to be going home, but the best guy went through.
I'm just overjoyed. Can't believe it. It means a lot to me, definitely.
Simon will be back for the quarter-final to battle it out for the title of Professional MasterChef.